Natural Sciences 5, Unit 2. The Classification of Living Things. How are living things classified? Groups of living things with similar cells are called kingdoms. There are 5 kingdoms: animal, plants, Monera, fungi, and Protista. Animal kingdom. The animal kingdom can be divided into vertebrates and invertebrates. Fish, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and animals are all vertebrates. Worms and snails are invertebrates. They don't have a spinal column. Vertebrates. Multicellular animals that have a spinal column. What are the characteristics of mammals? Respiration. All mammals have lungs to breathe. Mammals' bodies. Mammals have skin and hair or fur. Extremities. Most mammals have 4 legs. Most aquatic mammals have fins. Many terrestrial animals have a tail. Reproduction. Almost all mammals are viviparous. What are the characteristics of reptiles? Respiration. Reptiles have lungs to breathe. Reptile bodies. Reptiles have hard scales. Some have a hard shell. Extremities. Many reptiles have 4 legs, but snakes don't have legs. Reproduction. Reptiles are oviparous and lay their eggs on land. What are the characteristics of fish? Respiration. Fish breathe with their gills. Fish bodies. They have a long body covered with scales. Extremities. Fish have fins and tails. Reproduction. Almost all fish are oviparous. What are the characteristics of birds? Respiration. Birds have lungs. Birds' bodies. Birds have aerodynamic bodies covered with feathers. Extremities. Birds have 4 extremities, 2 wings and 2 legs. Reproduction. Birds are oviparous. What are the characteristics of amphibians? Respiration. When they're young, they have gills to breathe. When they become adults, they grow lungs to breathe. Bodies and extremities. Amphibians have thin, smooth skin. They have 4 legs and many have a tail. Reproduction. Amphibians are oviparous. They lay eggs in water. Invertebrates. Coelentrates. Mollusks. Porifera. Echinoderms. Arthropods. Annelids. Coelentrates have soft bodies called umbrella. Most have tentacles, take oxygen through their skin, reproduce by growing a bud. Mollusks have soft bodies and some have a hard shell. Breathe with gills. They are oviparous. Porifera have soft bodies with pores, take oxygen and nutrients through the pores, reproduce by growing buds. Echinoderms, bodies covered with sharp spikes. Some have arms or tentacles. Some have gills. Some breathe through their skin. They are oviparous. Arthropods, exoskeleton and jointed legs. Some breathe with simple lungs. Some have gills. They are oviparous. Annelids have soft, long, segmented bodies. Some have gills. Some breathe through their skin. Reproduce by budding, but some are oviparous. What different types of body coverings do invertebrates have? Hard shell, exoskeleton, no protective body covering. Plant kingdom. All plants have cells with a rigid cell wall. Parts of plants. Stem brings water and minerals to the leaves. Supports the plant. Two groups of plants. Herbaceous plants, grass. Woody plants, shrubs, trees. Roots usually grow underground. Two functions. Anchor plant to the ground. Absorb water and minerals from the soil. Many plants have a primary root and several secondary roots with tiny root hairs that help to absorb quicker. Leaves do photosynthesis. The wide, flat part is called blade. The part that connects the stem is the petiole. Two types of leaves: simple leaves, compound leaves. Photosynthesis. Plants make their own food, so plants are autotrophs. 1. Roots absorb water and minerals to form the raw sap. 2. The raw sap travels up the stem to the leaves. 3. The raw sap is transformed into elaborated sap using carbon dioxide and sunlight during the process of photosynthesis in the leaves. Carbon dioxide enters the leaf through the stomata and oxygen is expelled. Small quantities of water are also expelled. Transpiration. 4. The elaborated sap with nutrients travel down the stem to other parts of the plant. Parts of a flower. The corolla is made of brightly colored petals that attract insects and protect the inner parts of the flower. The calyx is made of green sepals and protect the flower. The stamens are the male reproductive organs. They're divided into two parts: the filament and the anther. The anther contains the pollen. The pistil is the female reproductive organ. It has three parts: stigma, style, and ovary. Types of plants: seed plants, non-seed plants. Angiosperms. Angiosperms, flowering plants, produce flowers. Fruit grows from the flowers and seeds grow inside the fruit. Gymnosperms. Gymnosperms produce cones. The seeds grow inside the cones. Non-seed plants produce special cells called spores. Ferns. Ferns have leaves called fronds. Mosses. Moss produces capsules. It has rhizoids instead of roots. Fungi kingdom. Mushrooms, mold, yeast. Bodies. Most are multicellular, but some are unicellular. Yeast, mold. Many multicellular fungi consist of a cap, a stem, and a network of hyphae, long tubular structures. Reproduction. Produce spores. Nutrition. Absorb nutrients from the decaying matter by producing a substance which breaks down plant and animal organic matter. Monera kingdom. Bacteria. Bodies. Monerons are simple unicellular organisms. They don't have bodies. They don't have a nucleus. Extremities. Some have a tail that helps them to move around. Reproduction. Most reproduce by dividing. Nutrition. Some are heterotrophs, produce a substance that breaks down organic matter. Others are autotrophs, make their own food. Protista kingdom. Algae, protozoa, amoebas. Bodies. Can be unicellular or pluricellular. Movement. Some move using pseudopods or cilia. Reproduction. Most reproduce by dividing. Nutrition. Some are heterotrophs, others are autotrophs, like some algae. Photosynthesis. What have we learned? There are 5 kingdoms: animal, plant, monera, fungi, and protista. Vertebrates can be classified into mammals, reptiles, fish, amphibians, and birds. Invertebrates can be classified into arthropods, mollusks, echinoderms, coelentrates, porifera, and annelids.